Today we're here with a very loosely sealed box of Night Wanderer. This is the first half of the Shrouded Fable set that we'll be getting in English on August 2nd, and early reviews of this set for people that are looking at the art are not thrilling. In my opinion, there are some pretty good art rares in this set. There are some things that I'm looking to pull today, but overall the big chase cards in this set are a little bit lacking. The real value of the set, in my opinion, comes in some of those sneaky single prize cards. So there are a few abilities that are going to be targeting meta-relevant decks right now, a few that I'm a little worried about as a Lugia Archeops player, and hopefully we'll pull some of them and be able to talk about them in this video. So looking at the art coming out of this set, there are some really cool options, starting with this Tapu Bulu. It has that special art style here. There's also one, I don't think it's coming in this set, but it's a promo card for Shrouded Fable, and it's a Greninja in this same kind of style here. That one I'm definitely going to be buying the premium collection for because that card looks amazing. There's also this Houndoom looking all intense. There's this line of Duskull, Dusclops, and Dusknoir, which have an interesting ability that we'll hopefully talk about here in a bit. Cresselia looks like it's a pretty big chase for some people. As well as this Persian here. I don't know if it's Giovanni's Persian, but looking out over the city, looks pretty nice there. This Beware is actually terrifying. I can't imagine waking up outside to this thing standing over top of you, so hopefully we don't see that one. Now that I say that, we're gonna pull it. There's a couple full arts for the Loyal 3, as well as their SAR versions. So these are okay, in my opinion. I've seen a lot of people really going after this Fezendipiti. They also have pretty playable abilities, so we'll dive into some of those here in a bit. Nothing game-changing, but they do work off of each other. So if you have Pechurant in play, that helps with Monkidori, or it helps Okidogi get poisoned, so we'll talk about some of that in a bit. And then of course the gold cards, the Earthen Vessel is probably the one that everyone's going to want to use for the game, so those are there as well. It's interesting to me that Cassiopeia, I'm not sure which way is correct.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Gets the cool SAR with the guy in the chair art here. And some of the others don't. I would have expected Janine maybe to get one. It just seems like they could have added a little more to the SARs for this set. So the lack of an obvious chase card is why I'm seeing a lot of hesitation around this set, but I'm excited to get into it, talk about some of the fun combos that are coming out of Night Wanderer, and see what we can pull. We also have a bit of a pack battle going on in the back here today with Jim Halpert and Michael Scott, at one point co-managers of Denver Mifflin. So we did the coin toss ahead of this video. Michael won, he's going to be getting the first hit. They're going to trade back and forth with hits, and you're going to have to tell me at the end who won the pack battle. But without further ado, let's get into the first pack. Now we'll see if hits end up being pretty even between the two in the back here. I am counting a hit as just a regular EX, so this could be pretty lopsided if one of them gets them all. So we have a Cufant here, a Zubat, a Rowlet. Ooh, Knight Academy, so this is a stadium card that's being introduced. It allows you to take one card from your hand and put it on the top of your deck. So I think that one will see some pretty good use in the game, and nothing too crazy in the first pack. Also coming across that Cufant in the last pack reminds me of Copperajah, and Copperajah has an ability that doesn't let your opponent put down any stadium cards, and that ability pairs well with the Neutral Center, which is a new stadium A-Spec card that's coming out. This stadium makes it so any EX or V Pokemon can't attack single prizers, so Copperajah not allowing your opponent to put down a new stadium makes it a lot harder for them to get rid of your Neutral Center, and that way you kind of lock your opponent unless they're using a single prize Pokemon. So pretty cool. We have a very cute Eevee here, and Horsey, and Axew. Wow, these cards are all adorable. We have Weavile, and then I have no idea what that is, but no hits in this one. So we're 0 for 2 to start out. Pack number 3 with the Varoom. A Persian, that art rare is pretty cool. Zorua also has an art rare, and here we go, the first hit of the video, Pechurant EX. Nothing too much behind it, and this hit goes to Michael Scott behind us. So Pechurant EX will be a very late game attacker. It does 60 damage for each prize card your opponent has taken, and its ability allows you to work in with the Loyal 3, so it allows you to take any of your dark Pokemon on your bench and slide them into the active spot, and it also poisons them. So Okidogi actually does more damage. I think he does 130 more damage when he's poisoned, so Pechurant will help him get that additional damage and slide him into the active slot. So again, sorry Michael Scott, you get the first hit today, and it will be just a normal Pechurant EX. Probably not the start he was looking for, but we'll see if Jim can maybe get something better. It seems like Night Wanderer isn't going to reset any meta-relevant decks to begin with, but it does have some sneaky things. Oh, let's go! We get the Cresselia art rare. This one is actually insane in person. Never mind whatever I was saying about playability there, because Cresselia is very distracting, and Jim lucks out with the first art rare of the day. Moving on here, here's Beware, always looking just terrifying for some reason. Zubat, Toxicroak or Krogunk, And Sylveon to end up. Take a second look at this one here. I kind of like that Sylveon. The shadow in this little back alley.
This is gonna be some back alley sack wax.
I know we still have an A-Spec to get in here somewhere. There's the Toxicroak. Horsey again. That's a nice art rare we could see. Keep on going. Ooh, and Kyurem. I talked about this Kyurem in a previous video. It's very much targeting the Lost Box deck. So its ability mentions that if your opponent has used any card with Colress in it, so Colress's Experiment as we know, or the new Colress's card coming out of this set, it makes the attack only 1 energy. So this attack can do a good deal of damage to 2 Pokemon on the bench. I think it's like 110. Oh yeah, it says right here. It's 110 damage to I think 2 different Pokemon on the bench. And if your opponent has used a Colress's card, that's 1 energy basically free. So a very sneaky card to go after those Lost Box decks. Starting with a Meowth here. Dartrix. And Duskull has that art rare line. Zorua or Zorark. And nothing there. Alright, little Haxorus. He has a pretty cool art rare as well. Absol. Okay, I keep stopping here, but Absol is another very sneaky attacker if you're already running a dark deck. It would be an early game attacker. It only does 20 damage to start out for 1 energy, but the text below says if you have 3 dark energy in play, it'll do another 50 damage, which hits that magic 70 number. So if you start your game with this in your active slot, you're able to hit a Janine, and you have, an energy in your deck, you can get 3 energy into play, take maybe a turn 1 going second attack, and either get a quick win or take a prize card off the board early. So not one that's really being talked about too much right now, but a possible card to slide into your deck. A Cresselia, even though we have the beautiful Cresselia behind us, and a Weavile. So hopefully you're starting to see some of the value in this set. Art-wise, there's not too many people are going to be buying long-term, no huge hits that are going to be chased, but there's a lot of interesting cards that are sliding into the meta here that'll change the way we play. Golbat, Persian again, Houndour. Ooh, is this a Yveltal? I hadn't seen this one yet, but that's a pretty cool looking card. And then that Knight Academy once again behind it. It's also a pretty good variation of pink Pokemon in this set. So I think they just took all of the different pink Pokemon and they're sliding them into this one, as well as some nice blues. Some nice pink and blues going on. Inkay. Kyurem again. And there's Colress. Moving on to Joltik. Houndoom. Eevee. Oh, I love the flowers in this one. Dusknoir. Alright, Dusknoir, we could talk about his ability, even though we don't have the art rare here. Both Dusclops and Dusknoir allow you to kind of sacrifice your own card in order to put some damage onto your opponent's bench. So I believe Dusknoir can do 130 damage to 1 Pokemon on the opponent's side, and Dusclops does maybe 50 damage. So if you're using a deck that can spread some damage around, this could be a good card to have on your bench and really finish something off in return for just 1 prize card. Now we have gotten most of the way through this box with only 1 of our art rare hits and 1 EX. So we should have plenty of EXs to go. What is happening with this pack? 2 more art rares and of course our secret rare. Got Horsey, Beware, Tapu Bulu, the cool art rare in this set as well, and Weavile. We're seeing all the cards we could have as their art rares. Man, a ton of Croagunk and Toxicroak. Dusclops again, Joltik. Ooh, there we go, and the Okidogi EX. So this is the one that we talked about. Does 130 damage with its normal attack, but if it's poisoned, it'll do 260. So we'll sleeve that up, but I also see Galvantula behind it. And Galvantula is funny. As we sleeve this up, we'll talk about it. So this goes to Michael Scott. He gets a second regular EX. Sorry about that, buddy. So obviously grass decks are sought after right now with Charizard being out there with a bunch of other dark Pokemon that we're looking at. But this Galvantula takes so many conditions to get the full damage. So it does 50 damage to start, and it says if you attach a lightning energy, it'll do another 80 damage. And its ability here is if it's attacking a Pokemon that has an ability, it'll do another 50 damage. So if you have a lightning energy attached and it's attacking a Pokemon with an ability, it'll do the full 180 damage. And if it's attacking a dark Pokemon, that'll do 360, which is a huge amount of damage and can knock out pretty much anything as long as it's not wearing like a hero's cape. And let's be honest, it'll probably usually be attacking a Pokemon with an ability. I just think there's so many asks for that card to be able to be usable. All right, and the next pack with our little Stuffle here. Not his terrifying Beware, Cufant, Cassiopeia. I don't think I'm ever gonna know the correct way to say her name. Man, we are flying through packs to only have 3 hits here. We're gonna have a very action-packed second half of this video. Axew, Rowlet, Golbat. Oh, we got another EX, so the Fezendipiti EX. So Fezendipiti will have a pretty good amount of draw support. Its ability mentions if any Pokemon were knocked out in the last turn, you can draw 3 cards, which is nice, and its attack does 100 damage to a Pokemon. It doesn't specify an active Pokemon, so you just choose one on the other team, and you get to add 100 damage to it. So that one is the first EX for Jim. Still a little bit lopsided with Jim having an art rare, but Michael is in a pretty good spot to get the next big hit. Persian, Drowsy, Haxorus. Ooh, and the Dusknoir art rare. That is a good one right there. So yeah, again, 50 damage if you kind of sacrifice yourself. Ooh, that's Dusclops, 130 damage if it sacrifices itself. It should be a single prizer, and a very cool looking one at that. I feel like a lot of these ghosty cards have pretty cool abilities to them. They like to move damage around and be sneaky about how they're adding to the other team, so I feel like this could definitely be a way to finish a game off. And this one is awarded to Michael Scott. Congratulations, your first art rare, first big hit of the video. So that's honestly a tough choice. Dusknoir versus the Cresselia, a handful of other EXs. This could be a tough choice at the end of the video. You're gonna have to let me know. Let's go, the Neutral Center. Oh, of the ace specs, this is the one I wanted to get. So as we mentioned earlier, the Neutral Center makes it so that your opponent's EX and V cards cannot damage your single prize attackers or your Pokemon without a rule box. I think we're going to see a lot of this card in upcoming play. I'm considering it myself using Lugia Archeops once Shrouded Fable comes out because I like to attack using Cinccino. So that one goes to Jim. Ooh, having the ace spec on your side could be tough to overcome. All right, next pack here. Another Toxicroak, Inkay, Kingdra. I gotta look up what this one is. I don't know what that card is. And Hypno, sorry, and the... Yeah, it's the Hypno. I also just realized that I've been calling Fraxure Haxorus this entire time because I'm very scared of Haxorus. I think Fraxure has some weird ability about, like, if your opponent plays an item or a supporter card, prevent all damage from that card from anything it does to Fraxure. But Haxorus actually has an attack for 1 energy that says if your opponent has a special energy attached, that Pokemon is just knocked out, which as a Lugia Archeops player is terrifying because everything will have a special energy attached to it. Wow, and as we're talking about it, the Fraxure right here. So very cool. This one actually looks great as well with the waterfall in the background, Knight Academy in the back. But I really like that as one of our art rares. That'll be the last art rare we get today. This one again goes to Michael Scott, building up quite the resume over here. So in just a handful of remaining packs, I believe we'll get a couple more EXs as well as our secret rare. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more packs. I would expect maybe 2 more EXs, regular EXs, and someone's gonna get the secret rare. There's Axew, Stuffle, Absol, and there he is, Haxorus. As I feel like we're just pulling these cards now that I'm talking about them. But yeah, that ability at the top here, or this attack at the top here, 1 fighting energy, just knock out anything with a special energy attached to it. Terrifying. All right, here's a Cufant, Rowlet, Zubat, and a Kingdra EX. I feel like this was one of the highlighted Pokemon of the set. I've been seeing it everywhere. I don't know, I think it has a full art. I don't know if it has much of an art rare or anything like that. Horsey had the art rare. But here is a Kingdra EX. Ooh, and I don't know, that puts secret rare back on Michael's radar. I'm enjoying the competition in the back to see who will win. So let me know if you're Team Michael or Team Jim. Kyurem again. They're gonna make us wait to the very end for our secret rare, huh? Better be something good. Again, I'll probably go for the Fezendipiti because I didn't get the Fezendipiti in the last video that I was looking for it in the room. Oh, and there it is, Kingdra EX as the secret rare. So that answers that question. Yes, Kingdra EX does have a full art, and that'll be the big pull for the video. So not one of the loyal 3, unfortunately. Going over to Michael Scott here. I mean, it's a cool card. Nothing that I'm gonna go crazy over, but it's nice. And now we're just finishing up with some EXs. I'll open these, and if there's nothing in them, we'll skip to the recap. In the very next pack, here's that Janine card. Allows you to find 2 Dark Energy, put them on different Pokemon. So again, for that Absol, for an early turn 1 going second attack, might be able to use that card. And just for Dark decks in general, she'll be very helpful. All right, last pack. I would expect maybe an EX card out of this. So not quite the last pack magic we would like. But we'll see which one it is. No. Nope, we only get 4 EXs. So now is when I need your help. Let me know if you're Team Michael or Team Jim. We'll put up a recap of what they got here. Going first, Michael Scott did get 1 extra card, so if one of those EXs is his extra card, that's fine. He got the secret rare, he got the Dusknoir, as well as that Haxorus. Jim went off with the Cresselia, as well as the A-Spec card, and a couple EXs, so it's honestly kind of close. I don't know which one I would want more. So not to sway the vote, but I think I'm Team Jim on that one. I really like the Cresselia, and the A-Spec is the one I was looking for. But if you agree or disagree, please let me know in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe if you're feeling like it, and we'll catch you in the next one.